In this video, we will discuss the formula for the area and perimeter of a triangle, as well as how to understand these formulae, and I'll go through a few examples. So in order to understand the area of a triangle, we first have to understand the area of a rectangle. So over here we have a rectangle that's made up of lots of little squares. And these little squares all have side lengths of 1, and thus unit areas of 1. And so to find the area of the rectangle, we simply count up these little squares. Now, what you'll notice is that every rectangle can be divided into two triangles. And that's essentially how we are going to devise the formula for the area of a triangle. It comes from the formula for the area of a rectangle. Now, the formula for the area of a rectangle is length times by breadth. So this rectangle here would be 4 times by 2, which is 8. And now I covered the area and perimeter of a rectangle in a previous video, which I have linked in the description and at the end of the video. So as I was saying, we need this formula for the rectangle to find the formula of a triangle. And now the only thing that will change is we'll times this by a half. And I'm sure you'll see why that makes sense. So this length here corresponds with this height, and this breadth corresponds with this base. So in this particular case, the area of the triangle is a half times by the base, which is 2, times by the height, which is 4. So we have a half times by 2, which is 1, times by 4, which is 4 units squared. Now, we really could have said that the base was 4 and the height was 2. It just depends on how you look at the triangle. So to calculate the perimeter, it's really like all the other shapes, and all we're going to do is calculate the lengths of the sides and add them together. So for the sake of this video, I'm not going to calculate the length of this side because it's probably more complex than is suitable. And so we'll just use a rounded value of 4,5. So to calculate the area of any triangle, we simply just add up the side lengths. So we'll have 4,5 plus 4 plus 2, which will give us a total perimeter of 4.5 plus 4, which is 8.5 plus 2, which is 10,5 units. Let's go through two examples. So here, we'll find the area of this triangle using the formula half base times height. And now we know that the base is equal to 4 and the height is equal to 3. So we have area is equal to a half times by 4, which is 2, times by 3, which is 6 units squared. And for perimeter, we have side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3. And so we're simply going to add up these side lengths. So we have 3 plus 4 plus 5, which will give us 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 5 is 12. So we'll go through this last example with the area formula of half base times height. And so we have a half times by the base, which is 10, times by the height, which is 12. And notice the height here is 12, not 13. And that's because these are not right angles. here's the right angle. So we actually had to calculate this using Pythagoras. So this base length is 10, and this is an isosceles triangle because we have two sides that are equal. And so what we did is we divided this base by 2, and we got 5, and you'll notice that these three sides here work out in the Pythagorean theorem. So 5 squared plus 12 squared is equal to 13 squared. So that's essentially how the 12 would have been found, just for your interest. So going back to the formula, we have a half times by 10 times by 12, and a half times by 10 is 5 times by 12 is 60 units squared. And for perimeter, we have S1 plus S2 plus S3. But in this case, that's simply S1 plus 2S2, because we have an isosceles triangle where two sides are equal. So we have 10 plus 2 times 13, which is equal to 10 plus 26, which is equal to 36 units. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful and you really got a better understanding of the area and perimeter of a triangle, please consider liking and subscribing and watching the other videos on shapes if you do need those. Thank you.